Evening, Dr. Z. So this was week three's assignment, and so it had to begin with some of the code scripts that you had given, which was to install Pandas AI, then configure Olama, and then use the AI to conduct any sort of analysis that you can do with it. Unfortunately, I think for the entirety of the class, Pandas AI was something that none of us were able to install, and so we had to resort to other means to configure Ulama and then move on with the process. So some of the stuff that I did, and so this is a two-pronged video. So this is like the first that I'm going to begin with is going to be something that I watched a YouTube video and then I tried to configure Olama and try to see if I can run the AI to help me do some analysis on it, help me code. So basically, what I did was this is the first thing. So I downloaded this extension, which is called Continue. And basically, what it does is that it allows us to help connect with Olama or any sort of AI that it supports. It. You can use ChatGPT, you can use others as well. You can also use DeepSeek. And since we had to configure Olama, I had to install this extension and then configure the model that I was going to be using. So when I went to the model library, and I had to change the config JSON file, and so it was asking me to have this particular Llama model to be installed, so which is a Coin 2.5 Coder 1.5b. So this was the one that I did, and I have successfully connected it. And as you can see, I was running a bunch of queries on it. Okay, so let's say, for example, that I want to let's write a query on this that I want to calculate the daily returns on Amazon stock for 2 years. Please help me with the code. Right? So as you can see, the AI is working. Olama is working on my VS Code, and it has given me the code that I can basically go with, right? So this is the code that it has given me. I'm going to copy that, and I am going to go to the file that I have, and I'm gonna paste this one right over here. Give me just 1 second. So we are going to run this and see what happens. As you can see, the code is running fine. Let me actually show you. Hold on. Let me expand the terminal over here. So here it is giving me the daily return for Amazon, which is for 2019 to basically at the end of 2021. This is basically giving us the head. So we know that the AI is working, and I can basically give it other prompts as well that could help me do the code. So now we move on to the second part of the video, which is basically what I have told you before was not exactly the kind of thing that you might have been expecting from the assignment, even though that it was just another way that I could just like help myself use AI and just like do prompting to just like improve the statistical analysis that I need to do, obviously in the future. But with the help of a friend, basically the code that they generated. I'm also going to be using that to actually use Olama within the terminal over here. So instead of just like using the extension with continue, I can just use the AI over here, and the AI can also basically analyze the data for me, which was not the case with continue because that was generally just using prompting. So it couldn't recognize the data that I was giving it, but basically just like it was just like a way that how we use ChatGPT, to give us codes, and then we include that in VS Code. So this was basically just like within VS Code, you were using sort of ChatGPT or Olama to be more specific. But now we are gonna use AI to, and we're gonna prompt it within VS Code, and it's gonna analyze the data that I am going to give to it, right? So let me jump over onto this file over here. So here it is. We're going to be importing Olama. We're not going to be importing Pandas AI. Just like I said, it wasn't working. And so this is going to be the model that we're going to be using of Olama. I already have it installed over here, as you can see. And then the CSV file that I'm going to be using is the financials week two. This is a file that I downloaded during the uh, second week's assignment when we were doing the Altman Z score. And this code over here is just like to load the data set that I'm going to be using. And then, Olama is going to be a prompt over here to analyze the entire data set. And then we are extracting AI's response, and then it's going to be saving it to a TXT file, a text file, whatever analysis that Olama produces. And then basically here it is that we're going to be inputting. This is the part of the code where it allows for me to input my query, and then Olama is going to be answering it. And this is just like just like a, a skeleton of how AI or Olama is going to be basically answering my question. And then here's where AI is going to be answering. So like I said, I took the help of a friend who was able to better the assignment. Their approach was much better than how I was doing. So I'm going to be using their way and doing my own analysis, right? So I'm going to run this code and we're going to see what happens. Uh, to initiate the AI, it often takes a minute or so. So I'm going to be running it, and thereby I'm going to be pausing the video, and I'm going to be unpausing it as soon as it starts up. Okay, so it started working. So it is asking me, whatever question that I have, and I can write over here. So basically, let's start with the question, what is this data about, or what are the key data points I can use? I'm gonna ask it the question. It's gonna take some time to answer me back, so let's just wait for a few seconds. Otherwise, I would have to pause the video again. But see for a few seconds what it does. All right, so here it is. It has given me the response back, so it gives us the overview of what is actually there in the data. So it gives us the historical financial information of various companies, and the breakdown is given as well. So what gives us the adjusted closing prices, dividends, stock splits, other capital changes. So basically, exactly what the file had. And I also asked for the key data points. So it tells me about the ticker, date, company name, and it also gives me actually the potential uses. So I can just do trend analysis on it. I can do a comparative analysis on it. I can use it for investment decisions, for financial modeling. So there's a bunch of things that I can basically use it for. So let me write another query. One more interesting prompt that I actually did with it was that, based on the data set that I gave it, I asked the question that, can you give me the code to calculate the Altman Z score for the companies in this file? And additionally, if you can give me an answer for 2022, that would be super. So I just wanted to see like how powerful this AI would be, for like how Olama would be. So basically, it is telling me just like what Altman Z score is first, and then it also gives me the code below. But before that, it also tells me that my data does not have all the financial data information and balance sheet information that is necessary. I don't know why it is saying that. I just did that in week two, but I just wanted to see what the response would be. But here it is that it is giving me the entire code that I can basically use to calculate the Altman Z score. It also shows you just like the parameters that we're going to be using, as you can see, which is for Altman Z score, working capital, total assets, retained earnings, EBIT, and it basically allows me to use this and calculate what can come out to be. So right now, what I'm using, just like this particular code that I use, which came from the help of a friend. Once you do a query, you would actually have to run this file again, and then again, it is also slow. I would really appreciate if in the next class you could help us streamline this better, so that it is more easier and more quicker for us to do financial analysis, which is the main idea of the course, instead of being bogged down in situations such as this. So any help from your side, Dr. Z, would be much appreciated, and thank you so much.